my house, for the Mother's Day. So I really said that I was just really going to just enjoy myself, like you indicated, have, some cheap meals and, just not worry too much about anything. So that day, I had some kind of form of like rice with some proteins. Everything still was within moderate levels. Had glasses of prosecco, had small, some pita bread, like small little dessert, like for my daughter's birthday. And what else? Um, like I said, I've got, basically just indulged a little bit, so nothing, I didn't do anything too extra.
Okay, so let's talk about that. So once again, ladies, y'all notice how the very first thing Chigozi said out her mouth was, "Well, Trey, I kind of did what you tried to tell me to do, and enjoy myself." Right? Because one thing I learned about Chi Chi, once she's locked in, there's no stopping her. She's 100% locked in. So sometimes she is too restrictive. I'm talking about Monday through Sunday. I'm talking about from 12:01 a.m. to 11:59. She's not taking no breaks. She's not having no man-made things. All she eating is protein, veggies, protein, veggies, protein, veggies, protein, veggies. But that's why she gets the outcome that she has, right? So I have to intervene and say, "Hey, Chigozi, just remember, even though it wasn't your fault because you got pregnant, right? You gained some of the weight back, even though you lost 80 pounds with me,
Yeah.
right? 80 pounds in under 5 months. So this time around, let's make sure it is the most sustainable way possible, even if that means you're not getting such fast results like last time." So
Yes.
every single time me and her communicate this time around, I'm like, "Hey, Chigozi, our conversation is not how much weight did you lose. Every single week she lose 45 pounds. And what we're gonna do is I'm gonna ask her what her meals be looking like as well, so y'all can kind of pick up what she's doing as a mom of three. She got her doctorates, and she doesn't have the time to just sit down and go to the park for 3 hours out the day like majority of y'all cannot do as well." Okay, so now Chigozi, you notice how you said on Sunday, if I'm not mistaken, you said you had some pita bread, you had some
Yeah.
rice,
Like
some
some rice
prosecco.
with some chicken, some like some Thai food, so, and also some alcohol. So yeah, some glasses of wine.
Okay, and the outcome of you doing all that, the very next day, did you see the scale go up or not?
Surprisingly, I actually went down. I was actually, whenever I have a cheat day, I'm always scared to go on the scale the next day. It's not always like that, but surprisingly, I did go down. So,
Okay,
um, yeah.
here's the funny thing about me asking that. I knew she was gonna say the scale went down. Still, you know why? Chigozi, when you woke up Sunday morning, because I know her, I didn't ask her this at any point in time. We haven't spoken till today for the past 3 or 4 days. What was your stick color Sunday morning?
It was the dark, dark color, the dark purple, the dark pink. Yeah.
Chigozi, why are you still checking your stick on a Sunday even though you have 2 off days?
I mean, I guess, you always said that just to check everything, so you can always just make sure you can have a better idea of like what the different changes that may occur, like from day to day. So, you know, doing that habit.
So, because she's staying diligent in the department of checking her strips every single day, I didn't ask her beforehand, did she pee on the stick on Sunday? I know, based on me working with her, every single day, if you tell her to do something, she's going to do it. Because that's her mindset when it comes to how much desire she has to lose the weight. So I told her one time, make sure you pee on the sticks every single day. She does it every single day. But if you pay attention, every single day she pee on the stick, she's learning something new about herself. She's saying, "Oh, my stick color got lighter. Therefore, maybe that crazy carb that I had that was a little bit different from what I usually eat changed the color of my stick, which means it's influencing my hormones." Now she's not guessing if this carb is good for her. She's kind of now throwing in all the carbs that she already knows her body kind of agrees with, but just having it in moderation.
Yes, control.
But once again, if you let yourself a couple of days go without you peeing on the stick, then you're freestyling. You have no idea what's going on, and you might be making that same mistake twice. Just like I had a client earlier, I was like, hey, what I want you to do today, don't have no man made drinks. Just have nothing but water. Why?
Mhm.
Because she told me, oh yeah, and by the way, I've been stalling for the past couple of days, Trey, and I've been having the sparkling ice, and then yeah, I've been having these sugar-free crystal lights. And you know what I told her? One thing I learned about my body type, I can fast the whole entire day. I don't know why, but if I have the sparkling ice drinks, the one that we all seen at Walmart before, for some odd reason, with my body type, I stall. No matter what I do that day. So does that mean during this whole time you're not losing fat? No. What that means is now your body is basically reacting to some of these sugar alcohols inside of these drinks or inside of these 0 calorie packets, but that's why it still tastes sweet. Okay? So now after you having that experience, and I'm glad that you did enjoy your Mother's Day, Chigozi. Tell me everything that you ate and drank yesterday, since that was Monday, to try to bounce back from your Mother Day festivities.
So like I have my start of my eating window like around like usually like around 1 p.m. or after. So I'll drink some black coffee in the morning, and I had for my first meal I had some salmon as one of the proteins, and a mixture of like some beef and chicken strip like as another part of the protein, and some kale spinach mix or whatnot, and then after that, I just had like a protein bar that had like low carbs, and yeah, sparkling water. Yeah.
Okay, so let's break down her first meal choice. Naturally, Chigozi, you said yesterday, to be specific, right? You had salmon and beef as your first meal, right?
Yeah, like a mixture, like a fajita chicken and beef. Yeah, just like, but yeah. Hmm.
So for her first meal, ladies, and once again, me and Chigozi do not text back and forth. Actually, Chigozi don't even have time to text me. We just meet up whenever we meet up. But because she picks up all the little details that I be telling y'all, she told herself, hey, maybe I'm not eating enough. We had a conversation like that like last month. True or false, Chigozi?
Yes.
And I said, hey, you know what? Maybe instead of you having just chicken and turkey, let's do salmon and beef. She decided to have salmon and beef together as her first meal. But you know what she's also pairing it with? Chigozi, what did you also have with the salmon and beef mixture?
A veggie, like a veggie. Yeah.
What type of veggie, Chigozi?
It was like a kale spinach, like sauteed. Yeah.
Why you having kale and spinach, Chigozi?
Why am I?
Yeah, just why?
Mm, I have it as like a just like a nutrient side for my protein.
Okay.
Yeah,
And are you actually a little bit more consistent with your bowel movements? Not trying to be vulgar.
I am.
There we go. So for some of y'all, say, hey Trey, for some odd reason, I'm just eating nothing but protein, and I'm not using the bathroom as much, right? And then I say, all you simply need to do is incorporate more fiber, leafy greens. You notice how she didn't say cucumbers. You notice how she didn't say tomatoes. You notice how she didn't say, okay, well, I got some fiber from this protein bar that I ate. She mentioned a protein bar, but she didn't say this is the reason why I'm getting my fiber in. Every single meal on average, she's gonna have some leafy green with it. Now, let's say you ran out of spinach. Let's say you don't like kale. Let's say you don't like watercress. Let's say you don't like these things. Fine. But have it with a side of a vegetable that's gonna serve you, not hinder you. Like potatoes, like sweet potatoes. Hey Trey, I'm having sweet potatoes and the scale's not dropping. Maybe because the sweet potato is not really conducive for your current goal, especially if you're not able to move as much. Watch this. Chigozi, how many times have you had a sweet potato in the past 2 months?
Never. I know I haven't had any sweet potato. No.
How many times do you work out on an average week?
Uh, Now, I mean, at least 5 times. It's five, like, well, 5, 6 times. I just try to, I've kind of just made myself like, let me just, before it's like, okay, I'm going to have to spend like an hour. I just try to like get in some kind of form of activity, whether it's going for a walk or doing 45-minute class or some days an hour. I'll just kind of make a challenge to myself to just try to do something active. Of course, if I'm not feeling that great for whatever reason, I'll take like a day and just relax. But I definitely try to incorporate, you know, some physical as well, because like I said, at this point, like I talked to you, it's just more so trying to really make this like a really like a lifestyle, thing for me for sustainability now that I'm, done having children after 4 kids. So that's it.
Okay. So I got two follow up questions to that. Question number one: do you lift weights out of those 7 days, an average week?
Do I lift weights a couple days a week?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So you do lift weights, right? And
Yes.
it sounds like you make a conscious effort of moving your body 4 to 5 days out the week, right?
Yes.
Now, if you are moving your body more, I tell my clients you can incorporate a starch here and there. Just make sure you incorporate a starch when? What meal?
Yes. Your first meal?
First
To be
meal.
sure.
Me and Chikozy never had this conversation because she never tried to incorporate a starch, right? But she already knew the answer. So, Chikozy, if you can have a starch, even though that may slow down your progress a little bit, why are you still choosing to have leafy greens, even though you're working out and you're active 4 to 5 times out the week?
So why do I choose not to?
Yeah, have a starch or have more fun with your side.
It's just for me, just a personal choice, just in terms of just me reaching my goals, and I realized like when you start doing this type of diet or this kind of lifestyle, like I feel like I don't really like yearn for like the starches like that. So like when I do decide to just have like a cheat meal one of the days of the week, for me it suffices at least for now. You understand? So yeah.
And right there is the perfect answer, y'all. And that's what I'm trying to say. She has a healthy balance now, and we're still building it, but she has a healthy balance where she's telling herself, hey, just Sunday, I had some rice and some pita bread and some fun and some prosecco. So maybe Monday through Friday, what I should do is be very diligent and persistent with my food choices that I already learned 2 to 3 to 4 weeks back. That works for me. If I keep doing the same thing, I'm gonna receive the same outcome. Which means if I keep doing the same thing that's working for me, why would I switch it up? If I really want a sweet potato or I want to have some rice, you notice how she said she had rice? She's not afraid to have rice and Prosecco on the same day. But I'm going to allow myself to do it on my designated cheat day. That way I can live my life. But I'm not going to allow it to spill over on the random Tuesday or the day after Mother's Day because I still got a goal in mind. One thing I want you to remember, ladies, one bad day is not going to derail you. So Chigozi, right after Mother's Day, did you have color on the stick still?
Say that again.
Right after Mother's Day, so Monday morning, did you still have color?
Yeah.
One bad day of rice, pita bread, alcohol is not going to derail 6 days of you staying consistent. It's when some days y'all just go out on that random day. Hey, you know what? I did have some of my son's fries. And you know what? But I knew it was Friday coming up. So Friday is now here. I usually have my cheat day. But I also know that my husband's taking me out to see the Michael Jackson movie on Saturday, Trey. I just had a little bit of popcorn. Why the scale didn't drop this whole entire weekend? Little choices accrue to a big outcome. Especially if you're not as active. Okay? So even though Chikozy is a mother of four, she's taking care of 4 kids, and 3 of them are under the age of 6, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. Hmm.
She still finds the time because that is her goal to find a way to work out or move her body. She said some days I might do classes, some days I might take a day break. Why? Because I'm a mom of four and I just came off from work and I do a lot on an average day. Some days she's still going to find an effort to go for a walk. Just do something that you know is sustainable for your lifestyle. Don't try to go 0 to 100. I had a client that told me today, "Hey Trey, I'm thinking about starting going for runs again." Yeah, I told her for the past 2 weeks I want you to go for a walk, and she said she wasn't able to go for a walk. She had to take a break from walking. So why you think about going for runs? That don't even make any sense. Baby steps. Get 1% better every single day. Okay? So now my last question to Chikozi, just because I already know y'all kind of getting the gist of what she's saying. So after you're moving your body, you're eating right, how is your sleep on an average day? And what did you learn about your sleep before my program and now you probably incorporate some of the tips that's helping you sleep better, if at all?
Mm, I'll be honest. I'll be
Yeah.
honest. Like, I mean, I have good sleep. I don't have any kind of like disruption in sleep. Like again, it just can vary just depending on my day. But I do try to, get as much sleep as I can with the days that I can. So, but I don't like ever just feel like like I don't get like a good amount of sleep. So, and that can vary by the hours. But yeah, that's just a personal choice, just depending on how my day is.
Right, which makes sense. So one thing I always tell y'all is fat loss is like a tricycle, right? There's three wheels. The wheel that's in the front, that's nutrition. The two wheels in the back is working out and sleep. So on the average day, Chigozi, how many hours of sleep do you think you feel like you honestly get? All in.
On average, I would say like, a day, maybe 6 to 7, just depends.
6 to 7, or it depends, right? So y'all already know. I tell y'all the sweet mark is 7 hours to 8, ideally, right? So Chigozi might realize the day she gets 6, closer to 5, scale doesn't drop as much, if at all. But the days that you get 7 to 8 hours of sleep, scale drops every single time. You know why every single time now? Because she always, 5 days out the week, finds a way to move her body. And by the way, Christina, I seen your video. Congratulations. Good job. Keep doing that. I promise you, you won't regret it. Okay? But also, she always eat right Monday through Saturday. I had to literally force her to cheat. She was not cheating at all. Okay? So because she eats right every single day, because she's moving her body at least 5 days out the week, scale drops every single week. Every time we check in, she loses 45 pounds. Every single time. Some days she was losing 7 days out the week, and that's why I was telling Chigozi, I need you to have a cheat meal, and I want to see a picture. You remember that conversation, Chigozi?
Yes.
Exactly. I'm not freestyling this information, y'all. But this is the difference between somebody who's like, okay, I'm going to do whatever it takes to make it happen. Now, for some, it might be too extreme. But that's why Chicozy gets extreme results, right? But she always eats right Monday through Friday so she can live her life the way she wants to on that Saturday or, keyword, or Sunday. All right? So, Chi Chi, thank you for making this call. What I would love for you to do is just, if you can, stay on for like 10 more minutes and have these lovely ladies maybe ask just 1 or 2 questions if they have some. Okay? Then after
Sure,
that, I'll
why
let you
not?
be great. But thank you so much. I really do appreciate you.
No
All
problem.
right? All right. So let's start off with Asia. Asia, because you're brand new to the program, I know you just completed your first week. Do you have any questions for Chigozi?
No, I don't have any.
None? Okay.
No, thank you.
All right, no problem. Make sure you schedule a call too. You ain't slick.
Yeah. Okay.
No, okay. All right. All right. All right. Christina, how you doing? And Ciara, you next.
I'm doing okay. I'm doing better.
Okay. All right. That's good. That's good. Once again, I see you working out, so keep doing your thing. Do you have any questions just in general for Chigozi?
No, she just reminds me of how I was in the beginning, so I'm good.
Okay. All right. No problem. No problem. And once again, Christina was somebody who lost 29 pounds in a month. So it can happen, ladies. Y'all just got to stay consistent. But the funny thing is about Christina and Chigozi, Christina was going harder than Chigozi, and that's why she lost 29 pounds. But Christina wasn't trying to cheat. She didn't cheat until her 31st day. So Makes sense. Danica, do you have any questions?
Yes, thank you for the information and the motivation. Congratulations. How old did you say your youngest is? And I was wondering if you did any like breastfeeding and pumping, and how did your journey go for that period of time?
Oh, my youngest is two right now, so I would say like, of course afterwards postpartum, like it took me some time, how it is just to just give back, I started and then, fell back, just trying to get like my mojo. And, just, when I reached out to Trey a few months ago, I was just like, really, ready to just lock in. And I did, breastfeed just a little less than a year. But you know, I just right now I'm just at that point, just trying to give myself some grace and just just take it just step by step and just not be too hard on myself. At least like as long as my goal is just to like try to be stay consistent or see the scale drop, but try not to go the opposite way. And so that's just what it is. But I just feel for new mothers, just giving yourself grace and the time for your body to just talk to you and let you know when you feel like you're ready. So I'll just say take it little by little, incorporate what you can, and go from there. Yeah.
Thank you, thank you.
Good questions. Okay. So good question, Danica. I love that question. Ciara, how you doing?
Hey, I'm good.
Okay. So, Chi, just want to let you know this is one of my new favorite clients. The reason why she's one of my favorites because she's really serious about this journey, and she's trying to do whatever it takes for her to lose this weight. Okay. She just need a little bit of help right now. So, Sarah, what I want you to do is ask her anything, whatever you feel like the information you need coming from a woman. Ask her right now because she's just like me. She knows exactly what to say, what to do.
Um, I don't even know what. It's like I have questions and don't know what they are. One, just finding the time. I mean, she got more. You have more children than me, so my fight is really time. With I guess finding the time to actually work out, but I know that it's something that you just got to make the time for. Um, so I don't know. I guess how do you find the time, or when do you find the time to incorporate your activities as a mom?
I guess like like I just hear people, I'm just at the point in my life like like now is time for me to like at least kind of just focus on myself. Like after having kids like back to back, it's just you find yourself like just losing just like a part of yourself. And I'm just like turning 40 this year, and I just like told myself I really just want to just get back to like just the things I enjoy, but making myself a priority. So whether it's like, hey, I'm going to wake up early, or whether it be like, hey, before I used to like come back from work, I'm like rushing just to see the kids, but like, okay, no, let me go to the gym. Like just, you know, it's for like your hour of your time. I think like everybody else would be okay, but just, we can always just find excuses, just, doing it at night, or you don't have to go to a gym, just kind of doing it while you're watching a show, doing something. Like I said, it doesn't have to be nothing too extreme, but I just feel like just like a YouTube video, whatever it is, I just kind of just make it like a goal, like, hey, let me find a way to at least, you know, do something. You understand? Something is better than nothing. It's not always like I have to go be on the treadmill for like an hour or be on the stairmaster. You could just be like doing like a dance, a YouTube video, doing a hit workout on YouTube, doing going for a walk. So whatever that whatever your life looks like or however way that works for you, just finding that small little time, and then hopefully gradually once you kind of find what timings work for you, maybe you can increase, I guess, your duration, I guess, you understand. So yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So you know what? Here's one thing I want to ask. Chigozi, what I would love for you to do is kind of like a day like today. Give us a mock day of what time you wake up, what time you go to work, what time you do all of your activities, and just kind of like give us a timestamp. So maybe like today, tell me what you ate for your first meal once again, if you had to reiterate, and what you plan on having as your last meal. Did you work out earlier, or are you planning on working out later? What time you getting in bed, etc. Just so we can kind of hear a map out of your day.
Yeah, so like what can I like Trey, like like my right now my schedule is a little bit
Yeah.
it's pretty flexible. I'm doing contract kind of like work, but I told you I'm starting to practice, so I'm kind of, just lending my time to that. So my time is, I can kind of make a little bit more time. But I really, believe in try to get it in the morning if I can, because I just feel like once I get it in the morning, it's like I feel like, okay, I've accomplished that, and and anything else after that, if I want to go later to do a walk, it just I already have got like my main workout, for the day. So like today, I decided to do a class like a was it like a 9 a.m. class after I took my kids to the bus stop. You understand? And my first meal is pretty much similar to what I had on yesterday, which was the same like salmon. Sometimes it's just keeping it you know the same as the prior day. So nothing really much changed. So the same thing that I ate the day before. Yeah, and you know, same exact thing, like a protein bar, just as a small little kind of, just a sweet kind of treat for me. And um, for dinner, you know, I'll probably just have like a small portion of like some kind of protein, just a little bit smaller portion. A lot of times, sometimes like I don't really need nothing too heavy. Closer to the evening, yeah.
Okay. And my last question is, what do you how do you plan out your meals on an average week? Because some of us, we kind of get tired of eating the same things over and over again. So how do you determine what you're going to eat as your first meal on an average day, and what you're going to eat for your second meal? Because it sounds like on an average day, you always consistently eat two meals and maybe possibly a snack with it.
Yeah, I would say like depend like I know you always from when I used to when I talk to you a lot, just making sure like you're like that first meal of the day I try to make it like where I feel like it's something that's really like filling and just sustains me through the day. And a lot of times like I'm not really feeling like that much like hunger. Closer to the end is more so let me just have another protein based something small just to like top off the day. So it's two times a day, two times. But like again, some days like it would depend if I have like a large, sometimes I do have like one meal in a day. Like I told you before. Sometimes you kind of told me I should really try to incorporate a second. You understand? So
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. All right. There we go. All right. So other than that, Asia got one question, and after that, ladies, if y'all don't have nothing else to say or any comments, concerns, then we're gonna go ahead and let this call go. Okay. Asia, do you have any questions?
Yeah, so I'm like Sierra. I have a bunch of questions, but I don't know what the questions really are until we like start talking. So how do you guys, and I guess anyone can kind of answer this. How do you guys deal with like with your children? Like after school, something may come up and you have to go somewhere else, right? As opposed to going straight home to being able to eat a meal that you may have had prepared at home. And then now you're kind of like getting home outside of your window. Like, what are suggestions, maybe, I guess? Because I'm so, what I find happens to me, like, prime example, yesterday, I broke my fast at 2 and I had some sushi. I know it wasn't a heavy meal, but I wasn't hungry. But I know I just needed to eat something to avoid getting the hunger headache. So I did have some sushi. Again, I know it wasn't the best meal to break my fast with. And then I wasn't hungry again like the rest of the day. So I feel like I'm not eating enough, but I'm also not hungry.
Okay. Chigozi, I know you've been running point this whole entire call, but would you like to answer that?
Is this happening like quite consistently that you find yourself, or is just kind of like one off kind of situation?
So it's for me it's consistent. Like if I'm busy, I'm not thinking about food. So if I'm like having like a busy day at work, so if I'm at my full time job and I'm doing that stuff, I'm not thinking about food. I'm not hungry. If I'm running around with my daughter, doing her stuff, I'm not thinking about food. I'm not hungry. If I'm doing an event, I'm not thinking about food, so I'm not hungry. So for me, I think it is a little bit more consistent than it is a one off.
Okay. I would just recommend like if it was like a one-off, I would like, even if it's outside, this is me for like if I just had like a one-off and I just get back home like outside of my window, I would still try to like, have my meal to be still centered around like the protein and um protein kind of based and just getting back the next day, one day, outside your window, one heart. But if it's something where you realize like your schedule, realizes a lot of going, like, you might want to consider maybe, finding a way like, to like pack some kind of, maybe quick and easy kind of like protein kind of like snack that can, almost be filling, or like a kind of small meal that maybe you can possibly have on the go. You understand? I'm not, that's just like a possible suggestion, in terms of what type of meal that is. I've heard different kind of things people, may, incorporate, and, they can have their little like lunch pack or whatnot. And then like, if you're going to like your daughter's games or whatever, you can have that. And so instead of you just like feeling like when you get that hunger ache, you at least have something that is already, good to go, that, within like your goals, you understand? So I don't know if that's something you can incorporate, just so you can just, I think it's like if you kind of just keep yourself staying ready and just having the tool, having the things like there, then you can find yourself not, getting back home and just like just finding something just to eat, just to scarf down, that might not be within, you know, um, which might be like a bad decision. Because I know for me, like if I'm not like, I'm like, okay, well, I'm outside. Okay, where can I go to just get something? And it might not be you know, um, the most healthiest, I would say. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
There
I
we
don't know,
go.
Trey. I don't know if that.
Yeah. No, I mean that makes sense to me. But now, Asia, just to answer your question more too, the very first meal that you ate that particular day happens to be sushi.
Yeah, because I had other lunch with me also, which was more protein based, but I wasn't hungry, so I didn't want to like eat it because I felt like I would have been overly full, which would have made me tired.
So instead of you being overly full, you decided to have sushi.
Okay, I got it, Trey.
No, I'm not even trying to be funny. I'm just trying to really hear your
No,
mindset when you say
yeah.
it.
So I didn't want to feel stuffed. I didn't want to be sitting at my desk feeling stuffed, and then now I'm tired and I'm not getting any work done.
Okay. So let's play this out. Let's say hypothetically you decided to have um the meal that was gonna keep you stuffed, right?
Okay. Hmm.
What was that actual meal?
It was some steak and some chicken and like a mixed vegetable.
Okay. So who is putting a gun to your head and say, "Hey, if you don't finish this steak, I'm gonna shoot"? Who's doing that to you?
No, no one. So
So
I should have
that
just ate some of it.
that's my point.
Okay.
And that's how I want y'all to move as your first meal, anyways. I want you to put yourself in a position where you're looking at your first meal and you're literally telling yourself, I will be surprised if I eat all of this in one sitting. And if you do, either two things going to happen. You're going to be so full that you don't eat again for the rest of the day, or B, you're going to be so full but you still want a snack because you always have a snack, and then you have a snack but this time it's protein based, and now that's going to work in your favor. Or better yet, hey, you know what? I ate this first meal, but I'm so full that I don't want nothing for it. But you know what? I do got kids that I gotta cook food for. Let me make a meal, and I'm gonna save this leftovers for the very next day. But I know some of y'all bougie and y'all don't eat leftovers. Okay? But when it's all said and done, do not turn down a protein based meal in the name of, oh, I know it's going to have me too stuffed on average. You could have just said, okay, I'm just eat the chicken, not the steak. Or I can have half the steak, don't eat none of the chicken. I'm going to say the chicken for another day. So over order. So now the ball's in your court. Five Guys right now has a buy one get one free double cheeseburger. Believe it or not, y'all, even though I talk about burgers so much, I do not eat as much burgers as y'all think. I probably have a burger once or twice a month because I'm tired of burgers. But one thing I would never get tired of is fajitas. I'm about to go get fajitas right after this call, and it's still chicken and steak. It's this kind of the same ingredients as a burger, but because I like the way they prepare it, one day I might get Mexican, the very next day I might get Mediterranean, the very next day I might get Greek, the very next day I might get Jamaican. They're all preparing the same pork, the same chicken, the same steak, or the same beef. It's just in a different way or the way they season it. So now I feel like I'm eating a different or getting a different experience, even though they're eating technically the same proteins. They're just prepared different. Okay? So if you feel like you're getting tired of eating the same thing over and over and over again, 9 times out of 10, it's because you're going off the same cookbook that you grew up with your whole entire life and you're preparing the same meals that are convenient for you. You can either do option A. Let me go on TikTok. Let me type in low carb meals. Let me type in on YouTube. There's literally endless low carb channels now on YouTube. Honestly. But once again, TikTok is free. All right. Or two, kind of like what I do, I don't got time to cook. So my first meal of the day, every single day, I'd eat out. Now I know majority of my clients are women. Y'all got kids to attend to. You can't eat out every single day. I get it. But I'm just giving you an idea that because I'm eating out every single day for my first meal, the very second meal, I'm having something that I know that works. For instance, the past 3 nights, my very last meal was cereal. That's my constant. Like Chikozi's constant, every single day, she's going to have a big first meal, and it usually includes salmon or beef. So y'all going to realize once you learn what works best for your body, Davita just joined my program, y'all. She lost 30 pounds with me 2, 3 years ago, right? And she rejoined my program. She didn't really have to join my program. She just liked me holding her accountable. She lost 8 pounds already and hasn't been a full 2 weeks yet. But she knows what works for her body. So once y'all be patient with yourself and take the time to learn your body, I promise you it's the most liberating feeling on earth. Because now you're going to realize I really am in control. I finally got control of this thing, this flesh that I'm going to be living with for the rest of my life. Now, question is, am I going to be patient? It took me 30, 40 years to get to this weight. Let me give myself 3 to 4 to maybe 5 months to either get it off or learn something new so I can keep it off forever. That's it. All right. So, do anybody got any comments or concerns before I end this call?
Hey, I just have a comment.
What's up, Donica?
I was tending to my baby, but I heard someone ask the question about like if you have like after school activities or you don't get to eat what you prepared at home or something like that. Because I had something similar happen to me. So I usually keep like some type of protein snack like in a diaper bag, or I have like a note section in my phone for like something if I go through a drive through at like Chick-fil-A or stop at Chipotle. I have notes of like what I will order from this place. Like if I need to ask somebody, hey, can you pick this up for me real quick or something like that, I can just send them like my go-to order, or I can run past there and grab it real quick on the way to my next stop. So that's kind of what I've been doing, like a little list in my phone of what I would get from each different place, Wawa, Subway, Chick-fil-A, whatever it may be, and then keeping like a little snack in the car or the diaper bag. So that's just something that has been helping me along the way. And I have an 8-month-old. Just a little food for thought.
Thank you for sharing that, Donica. And here's the funny thing about Donica. Donica was another ex-client on my program, and she lost 40 pounds in about 2 months and some change. But the reason why she is losing weight at such a fast pace is because she is prepared if you pay attention. If you fail to plan, you plan to fail. So if Donica is just out in these worlds, out in these streets, and doesn't have no meals around her, she knows she got a protein snack inside her diaper. Just like people laugh at me inside her diaper bag. And people laugh at me all the time when they see I'm at a bar, I order tequila, and I just magically pull a crystal light out my pocket. People laugh at me every single time. But the funny thing is, in all of my jeans, I literally have a crystal light packet that I either forgot about and I never touched. Every single time. Literally any gene that I can grab right now, I know for a fact there's gonna be crystallite inside of there. So if I'm trying to manage my weight and I'm out and about, like it's summer now, I'm trying to get my body right too. But guess what? I cannot move as much as I used to. So now I gotta be super dialed in with my nutrition, which means I just can't have the occasional cookie or order some cookies like I used to do every single weekend. I'm snitching on myself, y'all. So I'm just trying to make y'all understand that once you learn your body, you're going to be good for the rest of your life. But you have to be prepared. I brought the cereal back in my life because I realized, bro, the only reason why you want a snack at night is because you want something sweet. I'm just like y'all. Except y'all's is 10 times worse. I get it. So if I have the cereal, not only it keeps me full, not only is protein based, which means it's going to help me lose more weight, but guess what? It's satiating my sweet tooth. I can have that every single night, and my girl can make some cookies right now. And if I have my cereal, I'm good. I'm not even fighting myself anymore. But if I didn't have the cereal, and then I want something sweet, and then she makes cookies, I'm folding 99.8% of the time. So you just got to be prepared and adapt to your environment. If you know you undereat, 9 times out of 10, you're undereating because it's not convenient for you to eat, period. So maybe it would just be in your best interest, instead of you trying to scramble and figure out what you're going to eat every single day, let me actually prepare what I'm going to eat for my first meal tomorrow, tonight. Simple as that. Last question, Chigozi, then I'm going to let you go. On an average day, when you meal prep, do you meal prep and you're eating some old tuna fish from 2 days ago, or you make fresh food that night before for what you're eating the very next day? What happens with that?
No, I don't meal prep like that. I kind of, I may have like whatever I make, and I may have that for 2 days or 3 days, and maybe just switch up maybe the veg or switch up the protein just to, depending on my mood that day, but still trying to keep it, within, um, the realms of like the protein and maybe like a veggie or whatnot. So I may just have like rotation of like maybe two proteins, maybe two kind of veggies, and it just kind of keeps a little bit of variety, and but still pretty similar. So
Okay.
yeah.
So basically, it's safe to say, like, if we was in a kitchen with you, you would be making two different proteins, maybe sometimes three different veggies, and then you basically make different meals between those for the next 2 to 3 days.
Yeah, yeah, I don't really maybe put it like in Tupperware, but yeah, but I just know that okay, between these, I'll just depending on what I'm feeling, I just kind of put those together, but they're still the same formula, overall. Yeah.
And I love that, y'all. That's exactly what I'm talking about. That's why I kind of tell y'all, hey, something like Chipotle is one of the best places because you're in control of your own fate. What Chicozy's doing is I'm preparing the salmon, I'm preparing some beef, I might prepare some, I don't know, some curry goat. But what I'm gonna do is maybe for my first meal one day I'm gonna have curry goat, but the last meal it might be a little bit lighter. I might have salmon tacos. The very next day, I might have a salmon poke bowl. And I throw in some La Viva rice in there, which is the low carb rice. And then I throw in the chives and the sesame seeds and things like that. And then later during that day, I just might have a cheeseburger. But because she's not having set meals, she's not getting tired of that meal. She's just preparing the protein and preparing the veggies and makes it matching whenever she desires.
Yeah.
You're not gonna get tired doing that, y'all. Okay? So that is somebody from a professional. Once again, she lost the second most amount of, the third most amount of weight in my program of all time, but she was the fastest loser I ever had in my entire life. 80 pounds in 5 months. Stefani lost 70 pounds in 4.5 months. Just to give you an idea. Okay? So once again, Chigozi, congratulations on losing 45 plus pounds in 2 months. Keep doing your thing, and thank you for making time to speak to these lovely ladies as well.
Thank you, Trey. It was great. So everybody, good luck. We got this. So yeah.
Yeah, and we all in this together, y'all. This is not a competition. Everybody's body is different. The reason why I pointed Chigozi out for this call is because she wasn't successful once. She was successful twice. And the second time around, she's losing weight faster because she already knew what worked for her body the first time around. But one thing I want y'all to remember, some of y'all get tired of me when I say take pictures of what y'all eating. The reason why I say that is one point in time, Donika was writing everything down that she was eating. Chigozi at one point in time. Chigozi, do you write down what you ate at one point in time, like you had a journal or something?
Yeah, at one point in time, yeah.
Exactly. Y'all see what I'm saying? So if I write it down or I have a picture of it, then any single time for the rest of my life, if I want to refer back to this journal, I could call it weight loss book. Now I know if I am Christina or I'm Davita or Steph, if I eat this meal, I can expect this outcome because 5 years ago I ate this meal this way. You notice how Chigozi said I'm drinking nothing but sparkling water and black coffee. She didn't say Sprite Zero, Coke Zero, none of that stuff. I'm not having a sugar-free Crystal Light packet. I'm having sparkling water. Nothing can mess this up, and the outcome will always be the same way. Once I incorporate a Sprite Zero, once I might incorporate a low carb tortilla, once I may incorporate some sweet potato, when I incorporate anything of that nature, a protein bar, right, that got these sugar alcohols in it to make it sweet, I should expect the scale to drop as much. So because Jacozy is keeping it clean, Monday through Friday, her occasional snack is fruit, by the way. That's her snack of choice. True or false, Jacozy?
No, fruit. I don't eat fruit. No,
No,
I don't
okay.
really eat.
Well, I lied, y'all.
No,
Y'all
no.
called
I
me
mean, no,
red-handed.
not like no, no.
Okay.
Every once in a while, like a like strawberry or like
I
a
knew she
little
said
bit.
something like that. Okay.
But yeah,
But what is your go-to snack since you've been on the program?
my go-to snack. I mean, just recently, like that's honestly within the past like 2 weeks, I discovered some protein bar that has like three net grams that that I really started to like. So, but again, just in moderation, because like again, some of those like you said, other kind of sources, you know, um, may not be that great, but I just realized it kind of just gives like that little, like you said, a little small little sweet tooth, that, but still within. Um, the realm of protein and whatnot. So, and I feel like it hasn't really, changed too much of my progress. But I'm using it until I get maybe tired of it. So I'll take it occasionally.
Okay.
Yeah.
There we go. All right. So, but the funny thing she just said too was, Trey, I really don't really snack.
Yeah. Like again, like like you said, like I'm just like again, I'm just kind of just trying to be locked in. I just try to like do my best in terms of keeping it, pretty consistent, and then like having like my cheat meal, and every once in a while, like sometimes I might do like a reset, just be like, oh, let me just do a fast after like a cheat meal or a cheat weekend, but yeah.
And there we go. All right. So, ladies, hopefully y'all received value from this call and just try and incorporate some of these tips. Okay. Once again, a busy mama four, she was able to. She's kind of living the exact same lifestyle like majority of y'all. Majority of y'all make a good amount of money, but y'all are the main person that basically y'all live in the matriarchy. Y'all are running the entire show. So just try to find time for yourself. Make sure you do an activity for yourself every single week for yourself to lower your cortisol levels. Make sure you get some sleep. Try to eat 2 meals a day. Try to incorporate a veggie in every single meal. Okay? She said kale and spinach. She's having 2 carbs with 2 proteins. There's nothing wrong with that. When y'all have 2 carbs with 1 protein, there's a lot wrong with that. Keep that in mind. She's not snacking as much. If she is, she's having the protein bar that she learned that works for her body and berries. And she one day she might find a class on YouTube. She might go to a class in person. She might just go for a walk. 2 days out the week, she's taking herself a break. It's all about sustainability. And the only way you can do that is if you be patient with yourself. All right, y'all? So keep doing y'all thing. Y'all all doing amazing. And I'll speak to y'all on Thursday. All right? Thank you again, once again, Chigozi.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, ladies. Enjoy y'all Tuesday.
You too.
All right, have a good one.